Welcome into the video. I am your tech guy Wayne, and today I'm bringing you a part 2 to my Samsung Galaxy A35 for beginners. A lot of you left great feedback, and I wanted to make a part 2 video to show you more things you can learn, and also I wanted to answer some of your questions that you left in the comments on the first video. So I'm going to start with answering a couple of your questions, and then we're going to go into some other tips that will help you with learning the phone and also show you some more things you can do with the phone that you may not be aware of. So let's start with this first comment that says, how do I turn the phone off? Okay, so to do this, you're going to swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again. So when you swipe down 2 times, this power button is going to show up. You can tap on that button, it'll take you to the power menu, and you can restart or power off just like that. Now there's another way to do this, but you have to make one settings tweak first. So right now, when you hold down on the power button, it will launch your Bixby Assistant, but you can change it so when you hold the power button, it will take you to the power menu. To do this, you swipe down from the top, swipe down again, tap on that same power button, but this time tap on side button settings. And here, change, press, and hold from Wake Bixby to power off menu. Once you make that tweak, now we can hold the power button and this will take you to the power menu, which will allow you to power off the phone. Okay, next comment says, how do I transfer my contacts and my pictures from my iPhone? Well, transferring data from any phone, it's the same process. You need to go to your settings, so swipe down from the top of the screen, tap on the settings wheel in the upper right corner, go to accounts and backup, and from here, tap on transfer data for device setup. Tap on receive on this phone. Tap on iPhone, iPad, obviously for iPhone users. If you have an Android, tap on Android. But for iPhone, because the person who specifically asked about iPhone. From here, next tap on Get Data from iCloud. That's one option you have. The other option is transferring wirelessly. Next, tap on Get Smart Switch on your iPhone or iPad. And on your iPhone, you'll simply need to go to the camera and just scan this QR code. It'll take you right to this app in the App Store that you can download. And once you've downloaded the app, then you'll want to scan this QR code once you open the Samsung Smart Switch app, and that will allow you to start the process of transferring your data. So that's just a rough rundown of beginning the process of transferring the rest of your data from an iPhone. Okay, this next user asked, how do I add a contact to my phone? So this is really easy to do. You're going to go to the phone app and make sure you're on the keypad and simply type in a phone number, the one you want to save. Okay, so I've typed in this phone number, and to save it to my phone, instead of hitting the call button, I'm going to tap on the plus in the upper right corner, and this will give me the option to create a new contact. Tap create a new contact. You'll want to select your Google account, so it'll back it up to your Google Cloud. If you ever lose your phone, at least that phone number is going to be backed up and saved. From here, you'll just type in the phone number, and then you can swipe up to add any additional information. You can hit view more, and there's other notes you can add into that contact. You can also tap on the camera icon at the top, and you can add a picture of that person. So when they call, their picture comes up. And when you're all done, just simply hit save, and now that number is locked into your phone as a contact. Now, if you have any more questions on the Samsung A35, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. And if we get enough responses, I'll make a part 3 of this video and I'll answer your questions, all right? Let's go into some other beginner tips to help you with using the phone. So I want to show you how to navigate the apps on the home screen and some really important things you should know about. So one, if you ever have an app on one of these screens that you want to get rid of, maybe you don't want the Play Store app to be on the home screen, you can put your finger on it, just long press, and this will bring up this menu. And from here, you can tap on the remove button, and that will remove it off of the home screen. Now, maybe there's another app that you do want to be on the home screen. Well, swipe up. This will take you to your app drawer. And let's say you want to have your YouTube music on the home screen because you love to listen to music. You can hold down on the app for 1 second. It'll bring up a very similar menu, and you'll tap Add to Home Screen. Now, it added it on this page. Notice this is the main page. It added it on the next page. So if I hold down for 1 second but keep my finger on it and I drag, I can actually drag the app all the way over and drop it onto the main screen here. So this is a great tip so that now you can put exactly what apps you want to see on your home screen just by knowing how to drag them from one page to the other. Now, next, I want to go over what are called widgets. Now, widgets are really useful features that will allow you to get more information on your home screen. To access this feature, you simply hold down on the home screen. So find a spot where there's no apps and just press for 1 second. It'll bring up this menu. Tap on the widgets button. And here you'll see a list of really useful things you can add to your home screen. For example, Gmail, if you tap on the drop down arrow right next to Gmail and tap on Inbox and Add, you can add this. So tap on Primary. You can have this pop up that's going to show up on your home screen and it'll show you if you have new emails. Now, I don't want it on this page, I want it on the other page. So I'm going to long press for 1 second and then I'm going to just start dragging it. Long press, drag it, and I can drag it over to my home screen. And now every time I unlock the phone, so phone is locked, I'm going to unlock it. I'll be able to see if I have any new emails. I can swipe through and just get a little preview of my last 10 emails that have hit my box. I use this on my personal phone all the time, and it's so helpful to just be able to see if anything new or important has come through that I need to respond to. You can also make this larger. So if you put your finger on the box for 1 second, it'll bring up a menu, and there's a little bubble that you'll find at each corner of the square, and you can drag down on that bubble to make this bigger or even make it wider if you want to stretch it out like this. I'm going to bring it up just like this and drop it just like that. Now, every time I unlock my phone, I can always see if I have new emails. Now, let's long press and go back to widgets. I want to show you another one that's really useful as well. There's one that's for battery, and this one will help you keep track of how much battery your phone has. If you're using a smartwatch or earbuds, it'll also help you track the battery levels on those other Samsung devices as well. That's super helpful. You can drop that one on the home screen. Device Care is another really helpful widget, and I already have this one on the screen right now. When I tap on this, it actually clears my RAM so that my phone can run faster and smoother. Sometimes there's things happening in the background of the phone that you're not familiar with that are slowing the phone down. So this just does a quick optimization. It closes out running apps and it clears RAM so my phone can run smoother. Now this last widget I think you all are going to really love. This is a widget that will help you track your steps for the day. So hold down once again on the home screen, tap on widgets, and we're going to go to the health section, tap on the drop down, and there's 3 options here. You have one for daily activity, sleep, and steps. Steps, drag that to the home screen. And this is really cool. It's very simple. It's just going to track your steps based on when you're holding the phone. So obviously if you put your phone down, it's not going to track those steps. But whenever you're holding the phone, it will be tracking those steps. Now we're going to tap on the app because the first time you tap on it, it does need to ask you a couple of questions. You just need to accept the app terms and conditions. It's a free app. Don't worry, you don't need to do anything. But we're just going to give it permission, answer a couple of questions, and then after that, we're all set. We'll give it that one permission. And now you have this really nice app that will help you keep track of your activity for the day. Now, if you're someone who is really serious about your steps and you want to make sure that all your steps count, not just when you're holding the phone, I would encourage you to look into getting one of these. This is the Samsung Fit 3. It is a really inexpensive fitness tracker that will link right with your A35, and you can use this to track your steps all throughout the day. So whether you're holding the phone or not, this will track your steps, your heart rate. It'll track your sleep. You can also track your water intake. and it has about a 5-day battery life from my experience of using it for a couple of months. So you don't have to charge it very often. And this thing retails for around $59.99. So really inexpensive price. And it will help you to keep track of all your steps throughout the day, not just when you're holding the phone. I'll link it on screen right here in case you want to check this out. Let's keep talking about apps. I want to swipe up and go to our app drawer. Now, you might have an app in here that you say, I want to delete this app off my phone altogether. So if you ever want to do that, the process is very simple. You simply need to hold down on the app for 1 second, and it's going to bring up this menu. Tap on the uninstall button, and this will actually remove the app altogether from the phone. So you won't see it. It's totally gone. It's a really easy way to just clear it out. Next, I want to show you a cool way to customize the phone. So if you notice, the background of the phone is this kind of pearl purple picture. It's really nice, but you might say, gosh, I would much rather have a picture of myself and my family on this, what is called wallpaper. So I want to show you how to change this first to one of your own personal pictures. We're going to hold down the home screen and tap on wallpapers and style in the bottom left corner. Tap on change wallpaper and go to gallery. And here we can go to our different folders of pictures. I'm going to tap on this camera folder, and I don't have any pictures of myself and family, so I'm just going to pick a random picture. I'm going to make this picture right here my new wallpaper. So I tapped on that. I'm going to hit done. And now it's showing you what it will look like, a little preview. Now you can add this to your home screen and your lock screen. The lock screen is when you first turn the phone on. Or you can just add to the home screen. I'm going to uncheck the box for lock screen because I just want it to be on my home screen. I'm going to hit next. And this is a bigger preview. And then I'm going to hit done. Next, hit the home button. And now this is my new wallpaper. So that's how easy it is to take any picture on your phone and make it your background picture. Now, there's another set of wallpapers that you can access aside from your own pictures. Let me show you how to do that. Let's hold down the home screen, tap on themes, and this will take you to the Samsung Galaxy theme store. Now, this is a free app that comes installed on just about every Samsung phone, and it's a great place that has tons of free and paid themes that you can download for the phone. Now, I always like to show people how do I get the free themes or free wallpapers because I don't personally like to pay for these extra add-ons. So I'm going to show you my trick on how to get cool wallpapers without paying for them. Let's go to wallpaper, go to top, and where it says all, tap on the drop down and tap on free. This will sort what you see by what is only free. And I always say, let's look through and see what's free first before downloading anything that costs money. You might find a lot of great things in here that you like. So let's just pick one at random. I like this one. I'm going to tap on it, tap download, tap apply. I just want this to be my home screen picture. So I'm going to hit next, hit done. And now I have this really cool road as the background of the phone. So I encourage you to go through the theme store and look at all the cool things that you can do. There's so many great wallpapers and themes. The difference between a theme and a wallpaper is this. The wallpaper is just one background picture for the phone, but a theme is a lot more. So for example, let's pick this one right here. This will change the background of the phone, but it'll also change your app icons as well. So you'll have icons that will match the background. It'll also change your lock screen. It'll change the color of your dialer and all your numbers, your text messages, and your notification panel. So it changes everything. So it's a little bit more extensive, and don't worry, my little trick works in this section of the app as well. Go to top, all, go to free, and then you can see all the free themes that you can download. So that's just a cool way for you to customize the phone. Next, I want to show you how to change the notification sounds that come through the phone. So your ringtone, notification sound, things like that. So there's a shortcut to get to that menu by simply tapping on the volume up or volume down button. When this menu comes up, tap on the three dots and then tap on the settings wheel right here. This will take you into the sound settings of the phone. Now here it's just showing us the different volume bars for ringtone and for media and things like that. But if we hit the back button, it'll take us into our sounds and vibration menu. And this is where you can change your ringtone. You can change what sound the phone makes when you get a text message. So let's go to ringtone. And this is the universal sound if you have T-Mobile. But we can go through here and start listening to some of the other sounds. I actually like that one. So I'm just gonna, now that the bubble is on that, I'm just gonna hit the back button. And guess what? Now I've changed my ringtone to that. So it's super easy. Let's go to notification sounds now. This is the default. And I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing that sound by now. So here's some of the other options. That's kind of an old school sound. I kind of like that cosmic radio. So let's stick with that. Hit the back button. So guess what? We've just changed our ringtone and notification sound. And now, you can change that as often as you like. But it's just nice to know how to do that because the sounds can get really annoying after a while. Or you might live in a household with multiple people who have Samsung phones and you always hear the same sound going off and you never know if it's your phone or their phone. So that's another reason why it's good to be able to change this. If you're getting value out of this video so far, make sure you bump that like button down below. It helps to send this video out to more people, and it's a way of saying thank you that costs you no money. Lastly, I want to go over what is called the App Edge, and this is another kind of exclusive Samsung feature. If you notice on the right side here, there's this little gray bar, and this is the edge panel. So by putting your finger on the edge of the phone and just swiping into the phone, you'll bring up this menu, which is called your App Edge. Now, this is a way to set shortcut apps that you can access on any screen of the phone. So whether you're on the home screen or you're even in Google Chrome, you can always swipe over to bring up this menu. And generally, you want to customize this to whatever apps you use the most. All you have to do is tap on this little pencil in the bottom corner. And here you can first delete any of these apps that you don't want to be a shortcut. So maybe you don't want Google Meet to be a shortcut. There's a black circle with a red minus in it. If you tap on that, it'll get rid of the app for you. And then you can go through here and say, I really want my files to be on here. I want my solitaire game and I want my Samsung Smart Things on here. And as you keep adding, it will, turn it into 2 columns versus 1. And now when I swipe over, I have those as a shortcut. Now these top 4 are going to be recently used apps. And so this is an easy way to get back to an app that you've been using if you want to continue to do things in it. You can also change this by tapping on the pencil. Upper right corner, tap on the 3 dots and change. So basically turn off show recent apps. So now it'll just be only the apps that you want to select. So it's up to you if you want to have recent apps there or not. We've come to the end of our video. Hit the like button down below. Thanks again for watching. Take care. And as always, have a good one.